So hi, hello and welcome again, welcome back. And the topic of today's video is chordates. What in the world are chordates? Well, that's why you're here to find out. And I'd like to start off the video by giving you a little puzzle, a little guessing game maybe. I've got four pictures here of four different animals. Here, this is a jellyfish. Here, tadpoles. They're going to develop into frogs. Over here, a fish, of course, and this here is a duck. And the question that I have right now is which one of those four is the odd one out? Basically, which one does not belong in here? There's one animal that does not belong to the rest. Which one is it? Well, you're going to say, well, actually, there is a certain similarity. They're living in water. This is living in water. The tadpoles are living in water. The fish is living in water. And the duck is living on top of the water, right? So maybe that's the odd one out. No, that's not the way it goes. I will tell you the answer right away. If you don't want to hear the answer, then you can pause the video now, okay? Because I'm going to tell you the answer, and the answer is the odd one out is the jellyfish, okay? So this one does not belong to the rest, and the reason is that tadpoles, basically, which develop into frogs, the duck and the fish, and also look, this bird over here, and the snake, and look here, this is an antelope. Got some more pictures here, all of them are chordates, and the jellyfish is not. Okay, so you would like to know what is a chordate? Well, in this case, I'm going to use a little plastic model of my skeleton. Don't be afraid. Look, here it is. Okay, so this is a plastic model of a skeleton, very useful because when you turn it around, we can already see something here, the backbone. Okay, so this is the backbone, and in the backbone there is the so-called the spinal cord, and the spinal cord are nerves that go from the brain all the way down the body, and then the nerves, they branch out and they go from there, from the spinal cord, they go to the rest of the body, to the organs and to the arms and legs and so on, okay? But there is, in the backbone, there is a canal, like a hollow tube, and there are the nerves in there, right? And those nerves, that's called the spinal cord. And the chordates, what they have, those chordates, they all have this spinal cord. Yeah. So there is in the back here, there's a spinal cord. Yeah. Also a snake has a spinal cord. Yeah. Tadpoles as well, birds as well, and so on, all of them, but not the jellyfish. Okay. And so this is actually a different group of animals, and therefore I'm not going to talk about those, because today's topic is, are all those animals, that have this spinal cord, and there are five groups of them. And here I've got a little list. So of course we talk about animals, and the phylum, that's the next lower category, is chordates. That's what I'm talking about today. And there are 5 classes within the chordates that we're going to talk about: the mammals, fish, reptiles, amphibians, and birds. The good thing is that you probably know all of them already, okay? You might not have known that they're chordates, but you've seen all of them already. So in today's video, I'm not going to tell you something very new, but I hope there is still a little bit of new stuff in here, because I'm going to show you some nice videos also with my microscope. Okay, so and what we're going to do is we're just going to take it one by one, and I'm going to talk about them a little bit. And let's start off with very familiar ones, the mammals, because we humans are also mammals. We belong to this class here. And look what I have here. I've got some information cards here, and some pictures here, some drawings. So now, because over here there's the name mammal, and there's one of those 5 cards is the correct one. So feet covered in scales, and has lungs. Has feathers. No, mammals don't have feathers, so this is the wrong card. Here, the body is covered in fur and mouth with teeth, give live birth. This sounds very correct, okay? As a matter of fact, that is the correct information card. But look, the others over here: dry, scaly skin, smooth, moist skin, has gills. No, that's not correct, okay? So this is the correct one. So mammals have the following characteristics. We have a body covered in fur. Now, what about humans? We humans, do we have fur? Well, as a matter of fact, yes. This is basically our fur, the hair, or what's left over. And of course, if you look very carefully, you also have very fine fur. fine hair on your skin. And yeah, of course, we're not quite as furry as this antelope over here. We have got a mouth with teeth. That's also clear. And important is that mammals, they give live birth. We do not lay eggs. Mammals don't lay eggs. That's important. Ear pinna can be moved. What does this mean? What is the pinna? The pinna is this outer part of the ear, okay, this part here. And many mammals are able to move it to pick up the sound better, because many mammals, they have to hunt for their food, and therefore they need to be able to listen where is the prey. And they're able to therefore listen better this way. And other mammals, they are the prey, and they have to basically listen carefully where is the tiger coming from, or the lion, or whatever predator you want to talk about. And they also have to be able to redirect the position of the ear so to pick up the sound better. And mammals can do that. And also very important, mammals have a constant body temperature. What does this mean? This means that in the case of us humans, for example, my body temperature is 36 degrees centigrade. And it's 36 degrees centigrade regardless on whether the temperature outside is hot or cold. So when it's freezing cold outside, my body temperature is 36 degrees centigrade. And then when it's very hot outside, my body temperature is also 36 degrees centigrade. And this basically means that we mammals are able to regulate our body temperature. Okay, when I say we mammals, we're not the only ones who are able to do that, but mammals are those animals that are able to do that. Birds, for example, can also do that. Yeah. So now a short video or two about mammals. Here these are. I took this picture many years ago in South Africa. They have fur. Okay, this one here, I wonder what that is. That's a lion, of course. Also has fur. And the last one, of course, this goat also has a fur. I think I don't have to tell you that you already know all of this. So sea lions here. I remember when I visited this place, it was really smelling a lot like fish because they're, of course, eating a lot of fish. Yeah. So this is very clear. However, I want to put some fur now under the microscope, and this is now something that you might not have seen before. So I'm going to switch over. Some time ago in a zoo, I was able to have a little conversation with this sheep over here. Just was standing there waiting to be petted, and I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take some of the fur along, the wool. Okay, and the wool really came off quite easily. And I took a little bit of this wool along home, and I put it under the microscope and to have a look at it. And this is how the fur of a mammal looks like under the microscope. Yeah? Of course, lots of strings you can see here. They look quite uniform, really, but look very carefully. Maybe you're going to see this better later on. There's an interesting surface texture. So that means the wool is not completely smooth, but it's a little bit irregular. I'm changing the focus right now also a little bit. So some parts are in focus, others are not. So I'm now going up with the magnification. Now you can see it much better that, the fur has some texture. It almost looks a little bit like there are scales on it, on the hair. And as a matter of fact, yes, that's the case. And so also with human hair is also not completely smooth, but also is textured. And this is quite practical because it allows you then to determine under the microscope whether the fibers that you have are actually natural fibers from wool, for example, from a sheep, or synthetic fibers. So, for example, when I pulled some of the fibers from my sweater, okay, and when I put this under the microscope, then I'm able to see the difference, in natural and synthetic fibers. So I can actually see if I see this texture, then I know that my sweater must contain actually sheep's wool as well. Yeah. So we're at a much higher magnification. Now you can see the texture quite nicely. Yeah, so that is a typical characteristic of mammals, okay? That there is fur present, and hair, as you say, or wool. Wool actually is the fur of a sheep. Yeah, and I'm just looking around. Yeah, now basically the video starts again from the beginning, so I can essentially move on, okay? Let's have a look back here. And here we are again. Okay, let's have a look now at the next one. So we're finished with the mammals. So let's clear it away. I don't know, the next one over here. What is that? It is a fish. Fish, you of course also know. Over here, that's a fish. So, what does a fish have? Dry, scaly skin? No, I don't think a fish does not have a dry skin. A smooth, moist skin and lungs? No, this is also not correct. Of course, the skin of a fish is moist because it's in water, but it's not smooth, okay? Or here has gills for gas exchange. I think that's here we are on the correct one. Has fins and scales covered in mucus. So I'm going to use this one over here because that is the correct one. And I'm going to explain this one right now. Fish have gills. They don't have lungs. They need oxygen. So how do they get oxygen? They make carbon dioxide. They need to get rid of the carbon dioxide. How do they do that? Well, the gills are here, right here on the back of the head on the side. And what the fish does, the fish always swallows water, but the water does not go into the stomach of the fish, but it goes out, it goes in through the mouth and out through the gills. And there are many, many little blood vessels over there for gas exchange. So this is where the oxygen in the water goes into the blood of the fish and where carbon dioxide goes out into the water. Yeah, so that is basically the way that the fish breathes, not over lungs, but over those gills. It has fins. I mean, that's kind of clear. There's a huge fin here, here. Okay. Important for swimming, not only for moving forward, but for also controlling which side, in which direction the fish goes. And there are scales, and you can see the scales quite nicely over here. Okay, so a fish has scales, but those scales are covered in mucus. So when you touch a fish, it's quite slimy. And that's very important because the slime that's the mucus reduces the resistance and in the water, and the fish is able to swim better with less resistance. There's a lateral line with sense organs. What is a lateral line? Now, many fish, what they have is the fish they have over here on the side of the body, they have nerve cells. Okay, also here on the side, and there are sense organs there, so the fish knows when it's touching something or someone, okay, or other fish. So there are nerve cells in there that are able to pick up certain stimuli, and that's basically one way how a fish is able to know what's going on around it. Yeah, that's called the lateral line. So it's a line of nerve cells on the side of the body here. Yeah. So these are sense organs. It's a sense organ. It's important. Fish lay eggs in water, at least many of them. There are a few fish which also give live birth. I remember I had an aquarium around a long time ago, and I had some fish that were actually giving live birth. It's kind of fun to see. You had a female fish and pop, out pop the baby fish. Yeah, and then you have to immediately catch them and put them into a safe area, otherwise other fish are going to eat them. Okay, yeah. I was not fast enough the first time. Changing body temperature. This basically means that fish are not able to maintain their body temperature, but their body temperature is the same as the surrounding water. So if the surrounding water is warmer, then the body temperature of the fish has the same temperature. It's also warmer. And if the water is colder, then the body temperature is also colder. And that's basically what I mean with changing. So the body temperature adapts to the environment. Okay. So that's fish. Okay. The next one. Let's have a look at the next one. So let's put this away. The next one that I have over here is a snake. A snake is a reptile. Okay. So let's see. 3 more left. Feet covered in scales, or a dry scaly skin, or a smooth moist skin. No, they're not. It's not smooth. You can even see that there's scales over here. Also here, alligator or crocodiles, they're not smooth, right? So there is a dry, scaly skin, and they lay eggs on land. That's also, important. Maybe you've seen that turtles, for example, even water turtles, what they do is they come out of the water, they go up the beach, and then they lay their eggs into the beach sand. The mouth has teeth or ridges. Well, of course, we know that alligators, crocodiles, and so on, they have teeth. But some reptiles, they don't have teeth, but very hard bony ridges that also helps them chewing. And changing body temperature, it's also one of the things that the body temperature fluctuates with the external temperature. So you have seen that sometimes, or many times, reptiles, they like to bathe in the sun because they need the sunlight to warm up their body so that they're able to move. And when it becomes too cold, then they cannot move anymore. And they kind of almost become paralyzed. And then they have to wait again until the sun shines on them, and then they're able to move again. So their body temperature, they cannot regulate their own body temperature. Yeah. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you again a little, video. This is a snake, of course, not a real one, yes, but not alive anymore. It's been prepared. It was, and this here is a snake skin that one of my students once brought along, because when snakes, when they grow, they like to shed off their skin, and sometimes you're able to find this skin in the forest. And this here is a snake's leather. Okay, and people have been breeding snakes, for example, for the snake leather, because you can make shoes, purses, and bags, and whatever you can make out of this leather, because it's a very strong and very tough, and sometimes also quite expensive leather, also very nice looking because of all of those patterns. But if you look very carefully, you can see that there are those tiny little scales on there. This is, of course, me. I'm in the lab, and I put the snake leather under the microscope, taking some pictures. So you can see I connected a camera to my microscope as well. And this is basically what I saw. And these are the scales of a snake. Yeah, actually, you don't need a microscope to see them. They're pretty large anyway, but I simply wanted to make them even larger. That's why I put them under the microscope. Yeah. So here the video starts again. Yeah. And in the background, you have an orange fish. Over here. So it starts again. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you another video on reptiles, some pictures that I took just for the fun of it. Yeah, of course, you know that turtles are reptiles. You can see the dry, scaly skin that they have. Over here, I don't know, it's an alligator or a crocodile, a baby one. Yeah. You could actually hold it in your hand. You always had to press the mouth shut, otherwise they like to bite. That's why you have to hold them like this, so that they're not able to open their mouth. Yeah, but you can see that this is when they're large. They're not quite as cute anymore. But again, you can see the large scales, of those crocodiles or alligators. Yeah, and here we are again at the beginning. And this basically completes the little chapter on reptiles. So, but we're not quite finished yet. Okay, we have, I think, 2 more that I'd like to show you. So let's put this away. And the next one is amphibians. Okay, here we go. Amphibians. Yeah, where is this? Here, I've got two pictures here. Amphibians, frogs, for example, they belong to the amphibians. Toads, salamanders. And what they do is they have larvae, and those larvae, they mature in water, and because the eggs are laid in water, and then they start to mature there, and then they go on land. That's where they mate, and then they lay again the eggs into the water. So you know about frogs. So which ones is correct here? Which one would smooth, moist skin or feet covered in scales. Which one here? Has lungs, has feathers. Okay. This one here is definitely not an amphibian. It's this one over here. Yeah, so smooth, moist skin, and has lungs for gas exchange. Frogs have lungs, okay. A wide mouth, you can see it over here, pretty wide and large mouth, for catching the food. 4 limbs, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, and lays eggs in water. I already told you that. And changing body temperature again. So that's basically, again, one of the reasons why when the weather and the temperature becomes too cold, then sometimes the amphibians are not able to move anymore. Then they have to wait again until it becomes warmer, and then they can start to move again. Just want to show you another one over here, because I'm not making this up, because I once talked to someone, and long time ago it was. It says, that's an amphibian here, a duck. And I said, what? Why do you think it's an amphibian? Yeah, because it's able to live on land and in water. This was the answer that I got, because I told my students, well, amphibians can live on land and in water, and they says, it's a duck, like in a duck. Well, no, ducks are birds, and that's the next one that I'd like to talk about. Okay, ducks are not amphibians, And the last one, are the birds here. And let me put this right next here. And we are with the birds. And the birds, that's easy now because it's the last one that we have. The feet are covered in scales. You have almost a little bit like in the reptile, maybe. Birds have lungs. The birds have feathers, yes, and birds have a beak. And the beak is relatively light because many birds, not all of them, but many birds fly, and therefore it's not supposed to be too heavy. Eggs are laid on land. Yeah. Four limbs are wings. 4 limbs are wings. What are the 4 limbs? Well, there are 2 legs, of course, and the two arms, these are known as the 4 limbs. They are modified and they are wings for flying. Okay. And birds also have a constant body temperature. Okay. And what I'd like to do now is I'm going to show you again a couple of pictures of birds here. This is an ostrich. Yeah, look, nice, large, huge eggs. Well, yeah, penguins. Yeah, I also took those pictures in South Africa many years ago. Yeah, here they told us be careful of those penguins. Their beak is so strong they're able to bite right through your shoes. Yeah, yeah. Then the pictures they start looping again. And what do those birds have in common? The ostrich and the penguins. What do they have in common? They're not able to fly. Okay. Do they have wings? Of course, yes, they have wings, but those wings are really kind of very short and not large enough, so they're not able to fly. For example, penguins use the wings in water for moving forward and for steering and so on, but not for flying, obviously. Yeah. So yes, now what do I want to do now is I'm going to now show you. Look here. I'm going to show you something. I've got here a microscope slide, and I'm going to show you now a feather, and the name of the bird is Gallus domesticus. It says here on the slide, Gallus domesticus. What in the world is it's a chicken? It's just a regular chicken. It's called Gallus domesticus. It's a chicken feather, okay? And I'm just going to show it to you. So this means I have to switch over to the microscope view, and let me turn on the light. Where is the light? Okay, and yes, here we go. And I'm going to now put the slide in. Okay, and here we go. Yep, that here is a bird's feather under the microscope. And those lines that you see, the larger lines, larger diagonal lines that you see, these are known as the barbules. Yeah. So these are the parts of a feather or barbule, and then there are even smaller ones. And something that you might not see, I don't know if you're going to go up with the magnification here. You see that it's very tightly connected, because what those feathers have is they have little hooks, okay? And this means the different parts of the feather, they kind of hook together. Look what I've got here. This is known as Velcro. You've probably seen this already, yeah? Yeah, sometimes you have this on shoes and so on, yeah. And the feather is similar to that. There are little tiny hooks on there, and this allows the feather to be very tight, airtight, because birds need feathers for flying, and so those feathers have to be completely airtight and very stable, okay? And that means there are those tiny microscopic hooks on there, which are even difficult to see over here. Yeah, even though a chicken doesn't fly, even though they still have that, yeah. And here we're right at the end already. Yeah, here we are at the end. Yeah, so these are the so-called the barbules. Yeah, and I don't know if you're able to see those hooks, those tiny hooks. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go up yet further with the magnification. I'm going to be a little bit patient here. Yeah, but I think you get the idea that feathers, at least the feathers for flying, they're very, very dense and tightly and very highly organized, yeah, and that's basically what birds have, yeah, because those feathers they are also oily, because then they are also repelling water. So we're again at the edge, yeah. And I want to show you something else because this here is under the microscopes, but I'm going to show you over here something else that I've got. I don't know if you've seen this already. Look at this. You know what this is? Yeah, these are feathers here. This is an arrow. I've been doing some sports archery. Yeah, and that's an arrow, and many of those arrows in the back here. These are feathers. They're real bird's feathers. They painted them yellow in different colors. But I like this because it actually shows how dense a feather is. And let me turn this around. So that's basically how it looks like. Okay, that's the arrow. It's made of carbon fiber. It's a very strong material. But the manes here are quite delicate, really. And I'm just going to show you because it actually is quite nice. Because when you pull here, you see how the rest goes along. Yeah, it doesn't separate so easily because there are tiny microscopic hooks that connect it. But if you pull too strong, then it separates. And if you put it back again, it starts to stick again. You see this? Yeah, it's sticky. It's like Velcro. Yeah. And that's basically how feathers, feathers look like. Yeah. Yeah, here it's, yeah. See, it's kind of sticky because if you pull very strongly, then you're able to separate it. And then when you put it back, yeah, it starts to reconnect again. See, it's kind of the thing that I wanted to show you. Yeah. And yeah, so these are, I have to tell you, I don't know from which bird these feathers are from. Yeah. But yeah, they're very commonly used in archery, in archery arrows, like this one that I have over here. Okay, just wanted to show it to you. Okay, that those feathers also have a very practical use. Yeah. So basically, this is we're now finished with all of those chordates here. But I do have an assignment. Okay, and the assignment is a simple fill in the blank activity, and I've prepared some fill in the blank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there are 5 of them. And my suggestion is that you find the words that have to go in there. I'm not giving them to you. Okay, I'm just presenting this here. Mammals give birth. They breathe with The body is covered with They have a mouth with Okay, so all of the information that you have here that you're supposed to fill in, you actually already know. Reptiles as well. Amphibians over here. And I don't know, I'm running out of space, so maybe I'm going to move this away. And what you can do is you can, of course, stop the video. You can stop the video and then you can simply copy everything here. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to show you a picture of this, like I always do. And I hope that I have enough space now. Okay. Yeah. So here we go again. Yeah. Maybe we have to, yeah. So you get the idea. This is the assignment. And of course, it would be nice if everything goes again into your notebook, because it's always a good idea to have everything nice and together. Okay. And now you know the most important classes of the phylum Chordates. Yeah. There are so many more phylums around. Chordates is only one of them. And in a different video, I'm going to talk about the phylum of arthropods. These are the insects and spiders and crabs and so on. They belong to the arthropods. So there will be a separate video on this. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. I wish you a nice day. Enjoy. See you around in the next video. Bye bye.